Hello everyone, my name is Baptiste Lecuyo. I'm the Senior WASH Advisor at Solidarité Internationale, a humanitarian organization that has been working for 40 years in many countries to help people affected by conflict and violence, epidemics, natural and climatic disasters, and economic collapse. Today, I will introduce you to the Accountability and Quality Assurance Initiative, initially launched in 2018 by Oxfam, Solidarité Internationale, Tufts University, and the Global WASH Cluster, and supported by UNICEF and ECHO since then. The starting point is the analysis that despite considerable efforts, the quality and accountability of humanitarian interventions remain insufficient. Numerous reports and analyses, including the recent 2020 gap analysis, highlight user dissatisfaction with the services provided, both in terms of access and adequacy to their needs, as well as recurrent technical problems. For example, the Oxfam sanitation lighting research found on average 40% of women across different humanitarian contexts were not using agency latrines, even in daylight. The reasons for this included lack of privacy, sexual harassment, vermin, and lack of lightings and locks. Not only does the quality of the services provided appear to be insufficient, but the way in which it is measured and analyzed does not systematically allow for effective and adequate corrective actions to be put in place, as it focuses on tracking activities rather than understanding what is working for whom. Moreover, it would seem that perspectives on what is meant by quality and how it is measured sometimes diverge between practitioners, users, and coordinating bodies, not allowing for relevant analysis of what matters. To address these issues, the AQA project team developed a conceptual model set out in two key documents, which postulated that the main criteria for quality in humanitarian response were the achievement of objectives, absence of harm, and community satisfaction. And on the other hand, that given the complexity of crisis, actors in the sector should collectively establish clear qualitative standards to which they are accountable, systematically engage with populations to measure their expectations and adapt programs, and define metrics that show where to improve so that course corrections can be made in time to be effective. Therefore, the AQA initiative aims to equip the WASH sector with the tools and approaches required to focus on what is important, to continuously adapt to changing circumstances, and ultimately remodel monitoring systems to start measuring what matters. The tools are designed to be used routinely and collectively at the national coordination level. The approach is based on a step-by-step process that follows a define, measure, adapt, and learn cycle as shown on the diagram. While the main tools and frameworks have been developed, continued support will be needed to roll out and expand the initiative globally in the coming months, and to eventually transform it into a systematic framework that is used predictably across the humanitarian sector. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.
Hi, I'm Tineke Harmans and I'm Associate Professor of Sanitary Engineering at IHE Delft. In this presentation entitled A Strengthened and Acceptable Training Offer for All, I will share a capacity development activity under one of the roadmap initiatives. This roadmap initiative aims to develop models, mechanisms and partnerships between humanitarian organizations and knowledge institutes to improve the delivery of humanitarian WASH learning opportunities worldwide and at a graduated as well as vocational level. It will increase the number of WASH professionals with key skills for the sector through accredited or certified learning opportunities and create partnerships for operational research at local level to generate evidence and improve the overall quality of the humanitarian WASH response. IHE Delft has a strong history of graduate level capacity development through master programs, courses, research and projects. A couple of years ago, IHE, UNICEF and the Global WASH Cluster started with the development of key humanitarian WASH courses. The result is the launch of the Graduate Professional Diploma Program, GPDP, consisting of 4 online courses of 5 ECTS each. They are accredited modular courses that can also be taken standalone, and you can see here the topics of the courses that were identified after consultation of the sector. Furthermore, several cross-cutting issues are addressed during the courses. The target group are professionals in the field of water, sanitation and hygiene who want to work in humanitarian settings, or professionals from the sector who would like to update and expand their knowledge to solve wash-related problems in a range of humanitarian contexts. The courses are being developed with the help from the humanitarian sector and supported by the Global WASH Cluster. The expert reviewed the contents and structure of the courses, provided practical examples, and actively participated in bringing in their experience from the field. All developed educational material will be made available for use and adaptation by partners. For the first run of the GPDP this year, we have 28 students. As you can see, the students originate from different employers and from different countries. As a next step, we are working on scaling up and localization of the educational offerings with a pilot initiative. We want to offer the courses in different languages and different continents and have identified 4 academic organizations. By the end of 2020, we aim for the 4 academic partners in the Global South to have started with the adaptation and integration of the 4 humanitarian WASH courses with the involvement of local humanitarian partners. This initiative is part of a long-term vision to build an alliance between academic partners and humanitarian actors from different parts of the world to develop the capacities of the humanitarian sector in a changing world by embracing the localization shift of the humanitarian response and ensure continuous and robust learnings.
Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca from REACH Initiative. I'm here to give a short overview of the WASH severity classification. The idea of the WASH severity classification, or the WSC, came from a realization that there is this great effort of working towards a very strong intersectoral analysis that can identify needs across sectors and key drivers of severity. But at the same time, the underlying WASH sectoral analysis has often not been as strong as it would need to be and hasn't been particularly standardized or consistent. So while the food security sector uses the integrated phase classification system to classify food needs, there has been no such similar process within the WASH sector. So despite the growing wealth of data in the WASH sector over the past years, WASH analysis has still been rather ad hoc, done country by country and with limited consistency in terms of approach or quality. So without a standardized system to transform data into clear decision-making processes, it's very challenging to accurately identify needs and to plan a response. But it's also more difficult to identify and mobilize for funding, meaning that key interventions often don't get funded properly. The WSC as a process is essentially trying to act as a filter to bring this wealth of data into an organized format and process it in a rigorous fashion to produce manageable results. So the WSC is what we're proposing as the solution to this problem. So then what is it? The WSC can be described as mainly 3 things. One is a process to build evidence-based technical consensus among key WASH stakeholders, a recognized interagency set of tools and protocols to classify the severity and drivers of WASH needs and vulnerabilities based on established standards. So this is not a process led and implemented by only one actor, rather it's a group of WASH stakeholders coming together, recognizing an approach and coming up with a standardized system analysis together. Finally, it's a process to support decision makers by ensuring a rigorous analysis of WASH conditions by consolidating a wide range of evidence. The WSC is not a data collection tool, rather it's a consensus-based analytical process using existing data from different sources. The WSC analysis process is classifying different areas in a country into different severity phases over space and time. It also set up to allow for cross-country comparisons that are not fully possible currently in the sectoral or intersectoral HNOs. We can then also start to understand better the magnitude, duration, and drivers of severities for specific areas or population groups, and to understand the number of people in need in various severity phases. So who is in need, how many, where are they, and what types of need do they have? You'll then be able to draw comparisons over time and across countries to inform strategic decision for advocacy and to ground global allocation of resources based on evidence. The added value in the long term will be that it can harmonize WASH data methodologies and approaches as it starts to be implemented in more contexts. Up to today, we have developed the analytical framework, analysis protocols, and released the WSC technical guidance document outlining the whole process. We have run 2 pilots in Afghanistan and Burkina Faso and conducted 2 full implementations in South Sudan and Niger. So in phase 2, so this year we are conducting a feasibility study of the WSC process, which includes interviews with key stakeholders, and are planning for an academic review as well of the process that we've developed so far. In total this year, we'll be conducting implementations in 20 countries. That was a very short overview. Please do get in touch if you have any questions or if you want more information. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is François Bayon. I am the Managing Director of IHIP, the International Humanitarian Infrastructure Platform based in Geneva. Together with UNHCR, IMC and Save the Children, we are co-leading initiatives under the Working Group Coordination and Partnership of the WASH Sector Roadmap. And we're happy during this World Water Week in Stockholm to go through the details of the different initiatives, showing how we want to integrate with other partners of the sector. The humanitarian WASH sector has professionalized over previous decades, and at the same time, WASH actors have recognized that there is an increasing need for sporadic, punctual integration with other sectors and highly specialized expertise. The first initiative is looking how we can get the special expertise from the private sector available to help the WASH sector during its intervention. Crisis situations have become more and more complex. Humanitarian organizations have to face a wide range of emergencies, from those triggered by environmental and climatic factors to complex and protracted conflict-related crises, along with compounding factors such as migration, urbanization, and climate change. Within the WASH sector roadmap, we also want to position the humanitarian WASH program as an integral part of public and environmental health priorities. Over the last decade, the humanitarian community's public health responses to emergencies have struggled to provide life-saving relief at the same time as addressing the underlying causes of infectious disease. Aspects such as water resource management, air and soil pollution control, human waste treatment and management must be taken as primary considerations. Indeed, environmental degradation and climate change are key challenges to reducing the spread of infectious diseases. The sector needs to develop an in-depth understanding of the relationship between public health and the environment. With the multi-sectoral integration and coordination of WASH initiative, the WASH humanitarian sectors aims to position itself within other sectors to maximize more significant results and break down sectorial silos by exploring venues for effective integrated responses in the future. In concrete terms, this means that WASH's systematic integration across key response multi-sector is promoted, structured, operationalized, measured, and evaluated, positioning WASH as the binding sector within other sectors' way of working. From now to 2025, the Working Group Coordinations and Partnerships is looking at solutions. How to get the right expertise from the private sector to be made available when it does not exist within the humanitarian organizations implementing a program or a project. A phased approach is adopted to look into intersectorial existing gaps, turning them into valuable resources for future integration and effective delivery of emergency responses. Achieving the Sustainable Development Goals related to WASH, health, food security, protection, and nutrition requires new way of working, new partnerships, and greater innovation for enhanced sustainability. We look forward to working with you all in the future on those common goals, and we wish you a great World Water Week conference. Thank you.
Welcome. In the following, I will present the WASH Triple Nexus initiative. For countries vulnerable to humanitarian crisis and climate change, the WASH Triple Nexus is an evidence-based collaborative approach that is key to delivering resilient and sustainable WASH services. Siloed approaches separating humanitarian and development interventions often fail, resulting in overstretched humanitarian responses and development programs unable to protect progress towards the SDGs. The Triple Nexus approach is a coherent, coordinated effort that strengthens complementarity across humanitarian, development, and where needed, peace actors, drawing on the comparative advantage of each. Since 2019, the Global WASH Cluster, Sanitation Water for All Partnership, German WASH Network, UNICEF, and other partners have led a global initiative to support the WASH Triple Nexus agenda, hosting several conferences and webinars. The learning exchanges have provided valuable contributions from a wide range of stakeholders. In recent learning exchange, key principles held by humanitarian, development, and peace actors were placed on a spectrum between humanitarian and development. The conclusion was that there are many more shared principles than not. These shared principles, such as leave no one behind, humanity, localization, do no harm, are a solid foundation for actors to find common ground. Where principles do not align, collaboration can be challenging. However, acknowledging and respecting differences is both necessary and manageable with the Triple Nexus collaboration. Well-coordinated collaboration should start as early as possible, for instance with simple information sharing, and should develop over time as trust is built towards higher integration like joint planning and resourcing. Central to a WASH Triple Nexus collaboration are key ways of working at the sector, service delivery, and community level. An operational example is to develop adaptive management approaches that will allow flexibility to continue operation and financing in rapidly changing humanitarian environments. A programmatic example is applying risk-informed and conflict-sensitive approaches. Joint assessment, analysis, addressing multiple risks, including conflict, are at the core of the Triple Nexus. The next steps for our engagement are: establish a WASH Triple Nexus working group led by Global WASH Cluster and SWA that will provide global support on advocacy, resourcing, technical support to country platforms, along with fostering innovation and capacity development. While there is a formal process to get involved, anyone interested, please post in the chat or message the email below. Secondly, the group will publish a WASH Triple Nexus Joint Operating Framework for implementation in country that is both practical and easily accessible for both policymakers and practitioners. We hope you're interested in the initiative. Please check out the link and contact us.